explain myself. You said you care for me,
Louisiana.
How I dyed this weave to get this burgundy color to match my real hair. Excuse my leave out, I didn't earn it today. But yeah, so just gonna be like how I dyed this to my real hair. And I'm gonna insert some clips and probably do like a little talking over it. Right here, all I'm doing is taking the dye out the container it was in, using the top to pop the little seal that it had on it. I also want to point out how I only had 2 tubes of the hair color dye, and I should have bought more. At least I needed 4, because when I ran out of these 2, I went and bought 2 more the next morning, because I dyed the hair at night and it semi-did what I needed it to do. So if you're dyeing like 3 or more bundles, you'll most definitely need at least 4 to 5 tubes. So I was using the Salon Care 30, and you're supposed to do a ratio between the dye and the developer, but I kind of like just spot poured it. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I knew what the consistency that I was looking for. But even after stirring it so much, I realized that I should have put more developer into the dye, because it was kind of thick for what I was trying to do, and I believe that's why I ran out of dye so quick as I did. Please excuse the way I look. It was late and I was getting my hair done the next day. So right here, all I was doing was combing through it, and this was the first piece that I did, and I think this was the best piece that came out because I started using a bunch of product on this one piece. And as you can see, I'm still stirring. A big problem which I did was that I should have started from the ends and worked my way to the roots, because my roots are have grown out. But here I'm using a bunch of product starting from the base of the track, and I think that's why I ran out so fast towards the ends where I really needed to be dyed. Because in a picture or in the video that I'm going to show you guys after the after product, the middle of my hair and my leave out, my ends are kind of still black because they didn't take to the dye in the front of my hair when I dyed my natural hair. So I was trying to go for that look in the front, but this piece was supposed to go in the back. So, but then this piece ended up going in the front because it was the brightest and it matched my hair tone the best, and I ended up putting the darker pieces in the back since I had to dye twice. Well, I used a trash bag and just opened it up, but as the hair was sticking to it, I just got really irritated with adjusting the bag, and it was very irritating. So if you could possibly get like anything to hold the corners down or have a bigger workspace, it'll really help you out more than just using like a little space. And I wasn't trying to mess up the tablecloth that was underneath me. I was still here applying way too much product to the base of the track, and that's where I again messed up at when using too much of the dye, applying it to the areas where I really didn't need it. And I made sure that really helped me is that you get both sides and you make sure that you use as much as needed. That's why I say if you're doing bundles and you have 3 of them or 4 of them, you most definitely will need like 4 to 5 different bottles of dye, in my say so. And here I was just making sure that I didn't miss any pieces, which again, a big mistake, applying way too much product to the base instead of towards the ends. I was just trying to run it through just to make sure all the parts, but it really didn't work out well. It just like created tangles for me, even though the weave doesn't tangle. So I found that as a problem, and I tried applying it to my fingers thinking that it would make it better. Applying it to my fingers didn't make it better, but it just helped a little bit, I guess. But it also used a lot more product yet again. But I also feel like this was the best piece that came out the right color because I used so much. So here I'm just getting the aluminum foil out, and I really didn't know how to wrap it in aluminum foil, but I just like grabbed a piece and then just like put it in there and folded it up the best way that I could. I feel like this also came out as a good piece because I actually took my time and put it in aluminum foil, and all the rest of them I kind of just like balled them up and put them in aluminum foil. This was probably the longest piece that I had to dye that was gonna go in the back, and I believe that originally before I had to dye this piece again, it did come out a decent color because I was still only like midway into running out of the dye until I realized. So here I'm just combing it out, making sure that it is combed. But honestly, at this point, I was really fed up and just like ready to be done. And I still had a whole bunch of other pieces to go. I was really struggling with this whole bag situation. That's why I'm saying it'll make it so much easier and make the process so much better if you use a bigger workspace. Because I was trying to weigh it down and get as much space as possible, and it really was not working for me at all without making an entire mess. Here I go again, making a big mistake, starting from the base of the track instead of the end of the track. My camera died, so I ended up having to get up and turn it back on. But now I'm just flipping it over to the other side. Yet again, running into that bag problem where it's lifting up and causing me issues. And by this time, I was really fed up. So I just folded it in half instead of doing the other side. And I just started putting dye through it. But I honestly feel like if I had just flipped it over and did what I was supposed to do, that this piece would have dyed well the first time. And also at this point, this dye was very strong to me, or maybe it was the developer. But that's why my glasses are like off my face, because I'm really like struggling to breathe. And I just realizing now that I look like a grandma. I do not wear my glasses on my nose like that. Like I said, I should have done a better job of putting all the other pieces in aluminum foil good, but here I'm just folding this up and just like basically balling it up into the aluminum foil when I should have been covering like the whole thing. I decided to skip pieces, and this hair is previously worn and used multiple times, but it was still good, so that's why it's kind of in pieces. This piece really was supposed to go in the front, but like I started realizing that I was using a lot and it didn't go as planned. So I think it's around this point where I start to realize that I most definitely run out of dye for as many bundles as I wanted to do. And I also thought I would have enough to dye like some extra pieces a week for when I want to do like a slick back ponytail with the extensions or something, but it just wasn't happening. And me realizing that I'm running out of dye, this is where I make my biggest mistake yet. Adding more developer, thinking that it's gonna make it even better. And so this is the after product, even though I already showed y'all this in the before one. But yeah, so it came out real nice. Only thing is though, like I'm gonna tell y'all, this is not really like, oh, this is exactly how to do it. I was just experimenting. This is my first time dyeing, so I just wanted to show y'all my mistakes and where y'all can learn from me, and y'all can actually get the right thing so y'all don't make the same mistakes I did. So I'm not a professional by far. Y'all could tell that when I was doing what I was doing. But yeah, so it's just so y'all don't make the same mistakes that I did. But it came out real nice after the fact. But like I'm really stressing, make sure y'all have enough, because using a little bit and thinking that's gonna push a long way is not, or the hair will not die. And like some of mine is kind of like more darker towards the back, but I did that so like a lot of pieces will be towards the front. But it came out pretty decent for my first time dyeing it, especially trying to get the same color as my leave out. Like from the front, y'all can't tell me this, I can't tell like where my hair in the beginning. If it was a little straighter, my leave out, but I am natural, so I gotta do a little extra. But yeah, so this is really nice, and this is hair from the luxury collection. So I need a shot with my sis, because look at that. Just look at that. Who, like, look at the flow, like, and this hair has been worn multiple times. All you have to do is wash it right, and you will get the same body every time. And it's so soft. Everybody be like, oh, your hair's so soft, and I'm like, don't touch me. But yeah, so y'all need to shop with my sis, and I will put all her information below. But yeah, so this is how it came out, and I was just saying, trial and error, I'm here for it.